Well, first I want to start with a lot of misconceptions about submission and what it actually means to be a submissive. Submission is not about doing everything that someone tells you to do. You're not a prisoner. You're not a slave. You're not a sex slave. You're not a robot. You're none of those things. You are a human being and you like to please other people. And it doesn't mean sexually pleasing either. It means pleasing your dominant of your choosing in any way, shape, and form that you can. And even creating ways that you can. And how you tell whether you are this type of person or not is when you think about serving people in such a way. Does it make you angry? Does it make you happy? Does it turn you on? Does it make you want to kill someone? I mean, if it makes you feel good and it makes you just be overcome with joy, then yes, you are a submissive person. If it makes you want to cry or be very, very angry at the thought of taking someone's shoes off and rubbing their feet, knowing that they're not going to do the same for you, then no, you are not a submissive person. I don't expect any type of, I don't know. I don't expect to receive the same things that I give. And I enjoy being a sub.
Well, that's good.
Well, yeah.
So is so would you say that people that are submissive but they're being blocked somehow into feeling that, like, do you think that there are things or whatever, like, you think the picture is painted in such a way to where people may be
You mean
submissive and
society?
that, but do you feel like there are people out there that are submissive that are too afraid to admit it?
Oh, yeah.
Or
Most definitely.
okay, why would they be afraid to admit it?
Because they don't want to be frowned down upon as a people pleaser or, like, say that they're an enabler or anything like that's toxic. And that's the only thing that I can think that's wrong with that.
Hmm.
You shouldn't be doing what he says to do. Well, why shouldn't I?
Yeah.
That's my question.
Do you think the fear? Do you think there's people that are afraid to enter a relationship like that out of fear?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that?
Well, firstly, you have to look at it as it's not really anyone's business. But if you are happy and excited about, you know, becoming a submissive and having a daddy or a dominant or whatever you choose to call him, that's your choice. But yeah, like I said, no judgment should come from anyone because it's not their business. But if they do, I mean, then you do.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, yeah. So what about fear from the dominant?
Oh, okay. Fear from the dominant. What does
Yeah.
that mean?
So someone that is submissive,
Mm-hmm.
do you feel like they would be afraid to submit to someone because of what the dominant may do to them, or they may push them too far? What would you say to people that are afraid?
That's why we have limits.
It is.
And we abide by
But
the limits.
someone that does not know any of that, what would you tell them?
Teach them.
Yeah. I would advise, if you are afraid of kind of giving yourself to someone, especially if you don't really know and you've never been there and you're almost too kind of soft-hearted yourself or whatever, you should just establish that in the beginning to where, you do. Like, no good dominant is just going to completely dominate you without knowing where your limits are. So
That's exactly
I would
what
say in the beginning, figure that out, because you don't have to sign up for something that you're not willing to do. So
And also, don't submit to the very first person that you see. It's very important that you get to know your dominant and your submissive before you enter a relationship like this. If you don't know every ounce and piece of each other, and you aren't willing to go that far for the other one, then I wouldn't do it. But at the same time, I encourage you to at least practice before you give up that much of it. Because if you do care about the person, because ultimately your dominant cares about you and wants what's best for you, whether you're together or not. Practice.
Okay.
I mean, at least take on the roles for a little bit
yeah.
and see how it goes until you sign anything or say anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, and that's actually a pretty good topic there. How real it really is. And it's not really just, everything. You could pretty much sum everything up into a game of some sort. But it is real. And it's nothing to be afraid of, really.
No.
Because, I don't know. When all aspects of life come into it, it does change everything. It's not just a game of pain. So
No.
that was fun. Can you think of anything else?
Sometimes sub and dominant relationships are, I don't know, I guess they're being called unhealthy. And I mean, anyone, really, they say it's a domestic abuse relationship or something like that, which is completely false because, well, in my case, I would not submit to that. I would not submit to that, and I would not feel safe in that environment, and that's not what the goal is here. The goal is to please each other.
Yeah, that's why every so often I have a, I guess like a clarity type of thing to where, for my safety as well. But I have like, a video, and I'll have her explain kind of where she is and how she feels about everything. Because it is important. You don't want to, you have to be careful.
And I will freely say that it's not abuse at all. It's not abuse. And I can say that because I know the difference between you asking for something and them knowing that you want that and that you like that, and then someone just doing it anyways. There's a difference.
Yeah. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Kind of curious.
I'm saying that this kind of relationship is not an abusive one. And it's not unhealthy either. Any relationship can be unhealthy. It is how you put it, you are in the relationship that makes it healthy or unhealthy. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good job.
How do you explain it? How is this not unhealthy?
I don't think it's unhealthy at all. For one, because it's real. We are closer with each other than we could ever be. And if there's any problems, we kind of, I'm not afraid to step on your toes, and you're not really afraid to step on my toes, clearly. But, we, since we know each other so much more, and I don't know, like there's no way in my mind that is unhealthy. It's absolutely 100 times more healthy than any other way I could think of. So I don't know.
Say it again and again. Communication is key.
Yeah. Well, hope this answered some of y'all's questions. And if you have any more questions, then just leave them below, and we'll get to them. Do you have anything else?
Probably should ask that before the ending. That's pretty much it because it's all I read.
Alright, thanks for watching.